Today I wanted to go over a topic in regards to how you're aiming or engaging in your fights. Chances are very high that everybody out there is using at least one of these methods, one over the other, if not both. And those two methods are pre-aiming and slicing the angle. Now these are just buzzwords or the correct quote-unquote terminology for it, but chances are even if you don't know what I mean by these words, you're still probably doing at least one or the other. And some of you out there may have been thinking to yourself, is one method better than the other? In what situation should I be using this versus that? So while Valorant is a game all about situations and not dealing in absolutes, we're going to break down a multitude of different scenarios where we'll be able to clearly see both methods be utilized either effectively or not effectively. And to break down this concept, simplify it so that you can get it ingrained into your mind, because it's something that you're going to be using for every game, every day, for the rest of your time playing this game, and to increase your performance overall. So really quick, let's start off by defining what it is first. What is pre-aiming and what is slicing the angle? Pre-aiming is before you're actually putting yourself out there to actually fight. You're putting your crosshair in such a way that basically you're aimed at them where they're gonna be, and then you like move into it, into your shot. Hence the name pre-aim. You aim before you engage. And a lot of times this is gonna be staring at seemingly a wall or nothing, and then you move into your shot. Slicing the angle is quite a bit different in that you're kind of playing it safer, you're covering all your tracks, and you're basically breaking up the potential spots one at a time, piece by piece, bit by bit, before you reach your final destination. Now, like I mentioned before, chances are you guys do at least one of these methods, one over the other. However, even if you have a preferred method, to be a complete player, you definitely need to incorporate both. So the goal today is to help better understand when should I be using which one, and it'll help you rack up a lot of free, easy kills. Both methods have good and bad to them, that's why you need to use both, and one doesn't trump the other. So don't think of it as pre-aim versus slicing the angle, but rather they're both on the same team working together. You gotta utilize both because they both have that same end goal, is to help you kill them before they kill you. So let's go over both of these pros and cons. Pre-aiming is good because you're doing the work beforehand, so when you see the enemy on your screen when you're moving out to engage, most of the work aim-wise is already done for you, by you, and you have to make minimal adjustment, making the shot easier to land and gives your enemy less time to react, increasing your chances of winning the fight. However, the con of this is that if you're pre-aimed at the wrong spot, then you just need to rely purely on your instinct to make like a wild flick or adjustment, which is required to be super fast and super accurate, or you risk the chance of missing, whiffing, and dying. Moving over to slicing the angle. Slicing the angle is good because you're being cautious. It gives you time to react to any off angles. It makes you ready, more ready than if you were pre-aimed at a certain spot and then you swing out and you're caught off guard. Then by that point, you're already committed outside. You can't really tuck back into cover, but slicing the angle, you can, because you're taking it basically like one step at a time, never being fully committed, and it's pretty good at disrupting people double holding you, holding an off angle, camping a corner, common spot, close distance fights, things like that. Now the con of this is that you kind of need a lot of room to work with, like physically around your space, because you're going to be stepping side to side a lot, and you're going to be kind of slow. Like the whole process takes a lot of time because you're being safer, you're being silent, using the silent step, but you're going to be slower. Now there's definitely a lot more nuances to both of these methods, but that's basically the gist of it. And now we're going to get a little bit more in depth with those nuances, provided with some real life examples. In our first clip, we're on a save round on Lotus and we're approaching waterfall. We spot a guy, take a few shots as we get omen blinded from CT. I take the time to reload while I'm blind, and then I take my swing out on the guy's waterfall. You can see that I actually go a little bit too wide because I didn't properly slice every angle, as I was expecting one but not two. So I'm pretty unprepared for the raise, but I stick to my initial target, which is Gecko. Luckily able to finish him off quick and even make the adjustment for the raise as I'm falling towards back to cover. Because of me getting tagged and taking like little micro steps, I'm still accurate enough to land that shot as well. Then I just prime my dash, pre-aim where I imagine the next guy will be around the corner, and this is a very low pressure, free opportunity in where I just happen to land the shot. Nice shot. But even if I missed, I had my teammate Yoru right there to back me up, and that low pressure helps to make the shot feel easier, which probably contributed to it landing. One last quick note, this pre-aim on the Omen could have been better. It was a little bit low, so I hit him in the chest or shoulder. And I tried to take a step into cover after my shot, but my initial positioning was pretty bad. I'm kind of in the open, but I was also 1 HP, so not too big of a deal. In this next clip, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can determine moments where you can be a little bit more clever with your pre-aim and slicing the angle. So we sneak up into drop here, and I'm holding for the heaven guy. For this particular angle, you should be pre-aiming towards the right, in my opinion, a lot. Not always, but if you think about it, most guys that are approaching from heaven, they're going to be staring at sight first. So they're going to instinctively be like as far away from heaven entrance as possible, which would naturally lead our crosshair towards the right. So try this out next time you play this spot on Lotus. So the pre-aim is close enough to make a nice adjustment for the instant headshot. Now on to the second kill towards KJ out on Rubble. Now this is a good example of what to do correctly, because what a lot of people will end up doing most of the time, myself included, instead of pre-aiming like that first corner where he ended up dying, many players would assume that he's kind of like back in the corner, pre-aim for that corner, and then swing, which would cause them to need to make a very hard flick. But here I'm going with the intention of slicing the angles, and he just happened to be on the very first slice. One final quick note in regards to this, it's not that pre-aiming Rubble right there is bad, it's just that if you don't know exactly where they are, when you're pre-aiming, you're basically making a hard read or commitment for that exact spot or angle. And if you get caught off guard by this, like KJ's position right here, it can lead to a harder shot and more likely for you to lose a fight. That's all. In this next clip, we're fighting for A main lobby control. We util dump on Roots and Rubble. I popped my ult because I heard the Omen TPing over. Another Rosa ult, but hopefully got some damage on the guy there if he is there. And right here is like a combination of slicing the angle and a bit of prediction. Basically, it's like process of elimination. I'm slicing the angles, even if it's an open area, checking for off angles and stuff. And as I'm approaching closer and closer to Roots, where there most likely are, I'm letting off pre-fire shots at head level every time. And a lot of times this will give you free damage or free kills. You can see the enemy Jet is not happy about it because he literally had no chance in that fight. He just insta-dies, doesn't even get a chance to shoot back. But that's what we want. So for the rest of the kills, it's just basic cleanup, but still slicing every angle, not swinging out blindly too wide. And from the footage, you can see that it appears as if I'm very ready for all three of those last engagements. Like I said, what leads to this pre-fire is basically process of elimination. If he's not here, he has to be towards my right. So that's why I'm basically pre-firing shots that way and just get lucky with a catch. But this is very common and it happens a lot. So while it is some luck involved, you gotta be good to get lucky.
Bam, 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 bam.
In this next clip, we're on Haven, C site, got the bomb down, and I see our Jet has pushed through CT and he's clearing out garage window, so I'm coming in to check the doorway and try to assist them get out or take a fight. He decides to back up a little bit, but I'm still trying to watch his back, and from his body language, it looks like he wants to fall off, so I'm backing up a little bit. Right then, the sky flash comes through. He gets blinded, luckily I do not, so I take a step forward again, anticipating the enemy to try to capitalize on that blind. I'm basically pre-aimed in a way ready for the jump out, but if they didn't jump out and I was taking another step forward, I probably would have just started to pre-aim towards the window instead. So we save our teammate's life, get the punish on one. I'm anticipating a teammate of theirs, right on cue, catch him slipping on the window, trying to fall down. So we cleared that and turn our attention back to site and CT. Now I didn't know there was going to be a tripwire there, so I kind of ended up baiting my teammate by accident, but now it's a 1v1, and I'm hiding in the middle, so every site he checks, he's not going to see me, which keeps him guessing, and he's feeling pressured, he's feeling pressed for time, so he's making a lot of noise, which makes this very easy for me to line up the pre-aim, and it's exactly on point, and I only need one bullet to finish the job.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
In this next clip, we're back to Lotus B site. We're taking site, and I believe we showed a lot of presence A, so I feel like I could get a timing on heaven here. So I go ahead and take that space. You can see that my pre-aims are pretty close, but not exactly on point, so I gotta do a little bit of flicking and adjustments. Still manageable though. We see that no one else is coming this way, and we hear one of them trying to jump up close to heaven. So I fix my crosshair to that direction, catch this guy trying to jump up, and then for the last person on waterfall, you can almost see my pre-aim intention was almost towards the corner, and if I blindly committed to that, I would have got caught caught off guard, and I still did a little bit, but I'm able to react in time. But because of that, I'm forced to commit and just spray, and we're put in a situation where I kill them or they kill me. But we have numbers, so it's low pressure, easy kill.
One enemy remaining.
My kill.
In this next clip, we're taking tree room on Lotus. I do the surf jump on the door, which I thought they patched, but it's still workable, I think, even now. With the first contact on Gecko, I do whiff a bit on the initial burst, but commit to the spray and just adjust. Some people might ask or say crouch spraying is bad or noob, but hey man, if you can control it and it's not super far range, just use it, it's fine. Good even, because I don't think I had the chance to stop and reset. Now most times taking a spray duel against an Odin is suicide, but I pre-aim, do a very fast sidestep. Definitely have to commit to this fight, because if they tag me once, I'm gonna die, can't move regardless. Then we push out and try to clear sight. We get clipped by the Clove. KJ trades and we both pop our ultis. I think I'm waiting behind the box until Clove is able to be actually shot, but I also think this is when Clove is pretty new overall, so I wasn't really too familiar with the res mechanics yet. Neither are the enemies, because as you can see, if none of them challenged me, my ulti would have ran out and I would have just dropped dead. So right here is another pre-aim on the Clove with a slight sidestep. Then I pre-aim for the next guy who we heard approaching sight earlier. I hold for just a sec and he walks right into my crosshair. And for the last guy, we heard him stairs and hear him dash over me and barely see her smoke trails as well. So off reaction, I turn around, and even though it did disorient me a bit and my pre-aim is far from perfect, it's still close enough and the range is short enough that I'm able to easily adjust and still get the headshot, clutch it out for the team.
Hey. Easy.
Refreshing.
Spike down A.
Oh. Oh hell no,
Player
cuz.
standing.
My friend.
That was close.
One enemy remaining.
Clip it. Hashtag J52, hashtag J52.
Now we're gonna move on over to bind defense. Pre-aim before the smoke fades, which just happened to be exactly on the Jet's head. Nice free easy kill. It's a 5v2 advantage. My Skye decides to die before I get to get a heal off. Bind is kind of a weird map because if you TP too early, the enemy might be able to TP, so I just wait until they're committed. But by that time, long story short, somehow my entire team dies and now it's a 1v2 post plant. Not only is it a 1v2 post plant, but now Gecko has ulti and he also has a Brimstone with him. Two post plant characters that can hella deny time depending on how much util they have left. So Gecko lets the ult rip and the clock's winding down. I thought the updraft would be able to dodge it because I'm on different elevation, but I still get caught. And to my surprise, because Brim mollied me off, they didn't chase up after me and they opted to play post plant positions instead. So throughout my whole approach, you can see that I'm not just like wide swinging every angle. I'm still trying to isolate angles one at a time because that way I could catch a 1v1, increase my chance of winning, but I still have to move kind of fast. So it's kind of hard to do this. You got to be fast, but you got to be careful. I'm still slicing angles, but I'm trying to be fast about it. So I start off by clearing the immediate area or vicinity. And once I see that it's kind of clear, I can only guess that they're playing these 4 spots, either short, U-Haul, CT, or Heaven. So I did a pretty good job up to this point, not leaving anything to chance because I cleared the area around me so I won't get caught by surprise. And now I'm gonna opt to tap the spike because obviously I can't go checking all those spots and my only option is to make them come towards me. So basically I'm gonna tap it, but I'm gonna have a hyper fixation on the spots I just mentioned. Now since my back is turned to short, I know that I don't have to check that right now, but I have to be careful of U-Haul, CT, and Heaven. So immediately after the tap, I check U-Haul, look at CT, and then quickly whip over to Heaven. Again, the pre-aim is kind of bad, but close enough that I'm able to react, and I get the kill. That's huge. Now I'm gonna opt to get half. I'm basically assuming that if the Gecko could have killed me, he would have done it by now already. So I'm sticking for half, and then the last place that I mentioned is gonna be short side A. He could have came from U-Haul, but either way, he's coming out from that direction towards short. Now, if you're an overthinker like I tend to be, usually the best thing to do is just keep it simple for yourself, don't overload yourself. And yes, absolutely, the enemies could have played this better and make it unwinnable, but I'm not here to tell you how to win every single round, because that's just bullshit. Anyone that promises you that is a liar. All I can simply do is just tell you what I'm thinking in hopes that it might help you see things in a different way, and like Occam's razor, usually the simplest explanation can be the right one. And for the last kill, my best shot is to just rely on explosiveness, try to catch him off guard just for a fraction of a second, and with no bullets remaining, able to land a nice flick and clutch it for the team. this next one, we're playing defense on A site now. We see the Gecko ult, we try to shoot it out, and I'm kind of positioned in a way where I can assist on short A and showers too. We hear little man running through. Unfortunately, I have to gun his ass down. We get smoked out from triple, so I'm gonna opt to step out wide, and I want to quickly make it to cover towards my left before I get caught out in the open. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. I wanted to move towards showers so that I can still help fight and not be stuck behind like a wall of smokes and util, which is what a lot of other players might opt to do, but they just end up being useless. But even when I'm having running to cover on my mind, I'm still pre-aimed at the right spots, the right angles, so even though I get a little caught off guard, I'm still able to challenge and fight back, which leads to this very nice sequence of an insta-kill, insta-headshot into a double spray down transfer. Now for the last guy, he was last seen outside showers. We have Spike down here, and I'm literally 1 HP, so I don't want to throw my life away for nothing. If I can stay alive, it helps our economy, I get a better score, denies the enemy ult points, and most importantly, betters our chance of winning the round. So I don't go hunting for the kill or anything like that, and as soon as I see him on the minimap, we're gonna do a nice pre-aim right exactly where that common short A angle is, and do a nice quick explosive sidestep strafe into a crouch spray, committing to that fight for at least guaranteed damage, if not the kill, because if I at least do damage, more chance that my team is able to clean up if I had died right then.
Enemy remaining. Spike down A.
So we're attacking A site, and we hear the Yoru TP somewhere like back truck or CT, so my attention is drawn towards there. As you can see from all these examples, pre-aiming, like half the work is just staring at the general direction. And then the better that you can hone that, tighten it up to the precise angle that you mean to check, the better off of an aimer or player you will be. So we clean up those two, and the Cypher ults a body, so he knows exactly where we are. Ironically, our only dead teammates are towards CT, so I know exactly where he is. And I think the sound from his ulti kind of masked my footsteps, so I'm just running towards him. Kill him fast, and Sky was not in position to trade or anything. Then our teammate goes down to him from heaven, and for the last kill, it's just a nice, clean example of pre-aim. I'm anticipating him falling down, and Sky falls right into our loving arms and crosshair. In this clip, we get cut off guard by the Phoenix, but still able to react and instantly flick him, lay him out. And for the last guy, just like the first Lotus example, process of elimination. I know he's market, but I'm not going to just simply run and white swing him, because the footsteps give a sound cue of letting him know exactly when I'm going to be appearing on his screen. So I'm not being lazy with it, stay disciplined. Slicing the angles, process of elimination, he has to be at this final corner, instant headshot. In our last clip, we're playing buying defense again. I do a top short smoke to try to slow them down or force some util out of them, just because the threat of someone being in there or right behind it is enough to like slow them down sometimes. We're also on a save round here, so we don't have much to work with, but you can also see it as a way of you have less restrictions, you can play more freely, take more risks. So that's why I insta TP, trying to help in front of hookah. Now obviously I just can't walk out freely, so choosing my time to strike here is very crucial to how the rest of the round is going to play out. I try to smoke long B for them as soon as I get one up, and when I see that they're actually taking it, that's when I choose my moment to come out. In my head, I'm thinking most of them should be sight, maybe one guy here. And yeah, me and the Raze collapse on the guy outside of hookah, instinctively had nice crosshair placement or a pre-aim, and get the insta 1D on him. I see everybody wrapping towards hookah, but I'm going from long, trying to go for a flank, different angle of attack. Luckily had a teammate right behind me, which exposes this Raze's position, and again, we're able to place our crosshair right where we want it. Now we got a rifle, I'm healed up because I'm clove, and then we run into site to try to help out the rest of our team. At this point I knew that at least one guy was elbow, one's unknown, because he just killed our Raze, so I try to insta-trade on him. And just like the earlier Lotus example again, I'm not ready for both of them, I was expecting one, but because of the fast tempo, our fast pace of retaking, I wasn't able to slice angles and be careful, I just kind of swung out there, but luckily still able to react fast enough, kill the Cypher on reaction, and I know I don't have time to stop, reset, strafe, and shoot again, so the next best thing is to just commit and spray him down, transfer.
Nice.
Ooh. Beautiful, bro. I'll take that.